It's been a while since I've been on. In fact, it feels like it's been months, but it's only been maybe about a week or so. And you would not believe the week that I've had. You would not believe the things that I've had to go through and deal with in that week. Now, it wasn't anything bad, but it was just a moment where I came to a conclusion that what I'm doing matters. I got an email that was sent from a person who said that they were doing nothing more than simply surfing the web. And in the email, they said that on this particular day, they just got all this bad news. It seemed like they woke up, got bad news, went to work, got fired from work, got bad news, got home from work, had bad news, and it just kept getting bad news. And I know somebody out here can relate to just getting bad news. And they said they were going to end it all. They said that they had had enough, that the world was too cruel, that the world was unforgiving, and that everything that they thought they were strong about, they were not. And then they said they saw my video. They saw the thumbnail. It wasn't nothing special, but they figured they'll listen to some Lions talk. And they was very surprised that the show opened up with this same message that I do ever since I lost my friend. A message of hope, a message that lets you know that we need you. That person said that that simple message was enough for them to reach out and get help. They didn't even know that it took three simple numbers, 988, three numbers to get help. And not only did they dial that number, they said that I saved their lives. I like to believe that they did that work themselves and that they saved their own lives. My message today is simple. Somebody out there is hurting. Somebody out there is going through something. Somebody feels like there's just bad news on top of bad news. Well, let me tell you, there's light at the end of the tunnel. There are better days. There are bigger moments. There are absolutely times where you may not know it, that you are stronger than you thought. And all you have to do is dial three simple numbers, 988. So before you make a decision that we have to live with, make one that you can live with. Show your true power, your true strength, and get help. Because whether you know it or not, we need you. We need you. And you matter. So please stay. Tomorrow needs you. And let's talk football. Pride Nation. Boy, oh boy, we are here on a Victory Monday. And I'm about to put a few disclaimers out. I started to play a little bit of Victory from DJ Khaled. Then I thought about All I Do Is Win. Then I thought about Forward Down the Field. And at the truth of it all, I came to one simple conclusion. This is a day of celebration because anytime you win, it heals all wounds. Now, I want to be clear about some disclaimers because I'm finna upset a few people. If you came in here looking for a bunch of BS, this is not the day. No, good people. This is not the day for the BS. I will not have it. I will not have it. That is my attempt to be M'Baku from my man's Black Panther film. We will not have it. The reality is today is a day of victory. And I'm going to not only talk about what I saw in the game, but keep it strictly to the facts. Keep it strictly to that. Keep it strictly to what really happened in the game. So if you come in here with this BS that I just seen over there on my man Heavyweights trying with Easy and Spence, with this apologize to Jared Goff stuff, you're going to get your feelings hurt. If you came in here talking about J-Mo and all this other stuff and you think I'm finna be apologetic, you're going to get your feelings hurt. Don't do that to yourself. This ain't the day. I am in too good of a mood. And this is a day where I'm telling you, you don't want that smoke because I'm all for it today. People, the Lions get to celebrate a victory Monday. Oh my God. Yes. Take that in. Let that soak into your blood. The Lions. Let me put some things out there for y'all. Because there's a lot of talk going on. There's a lot of stupid stuff going on. Everybody wants to get excited and happy and hyped up. But I come prepared for the BS. This ain't the day you want to do it. Also, if you want to talk that BS, I suggest you jump on when I give you the opportunity. If not, forever hold your peace. You know how when you get married, they say speak now or forever hold your peace. Let's talk about it. First things first, people. The Detroit Lions defeat the Minnesota Vikings, and I wasn't able to get on to talk about our win against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So let me get into it real quick and get this over with. What was my thoughts on that game? Nothing. I wasn't moved by it. I wasn't impressed with it. I expected them to go in and smack them. And if you go back to my previous game prediction, every time I predicted it, we would stump a mud hole out of Jacksonville. Thank you for doing what you were supposed to do. Thank you. That's my view on it. They're not a quality opponent, right? And I don't care that they just beat Tennessee. Tennessee going through their own problems. So miss me with that. The reality is the games that matter are games in the division. They're 3-1 in the division right now. 3-1. 3-1 in the division with Packers, with Bears coming up. And the scary part that nobody is talking about is if Minnesota continues down this trajectory to where they end up finishing with a 10-7 record, more likely than not, it's not going to happen. The Lions have a chance to not only win the division this year, but still make the playoffs on top of winning the division. The thing that I love about the current scenario is it's all up to the Lions. It's not up to nobody else. It's up to the Lions. All the Lions have to do is go out and win. They don't have to do anything else. They don't have to bag nobody, pay nobody, scheme past nobody. Just go out and win. And if you go out and win and you finish 10-7, cool. But let me tell you about what I saw in that game. Because what I saw in that game, while most people might point to the offensive coordinator, while most people might point their finger to, oh, Brad Holmes. I'm telling you today, but let me just tell you what I saw. I saw a team who came out and literally said, you are going to play one way. And that's the only way you're going to be able to play because you're not going to beat us once we make you one-dimensional. Let me give y'all some stuff that blows my mind. Y'all don't know this, and I think everyone should do this. At halftime, okay? At halftime, every single person should go find whatever outlet they like, whether it is whether it is ESPN, whether it is NFL.com, whatever it is that you want, go and find it. I want to tell you something. At halftime, I'm going to say this again. At halftime, how many rushing yards do y'all think the Minnesota Vikings had at halftime? I'm going to give y'all a minute to think on that. How many rushing yards do you think the Vikings had at halftime? Because, see, some of us was paying attention. They had 5. 5 yards on 15 carries. You want to talk about dominance? Dalvin Cook had 14 carries in the first half for 6 yards. And yes, I know Justin Jefferson got off. Don't care. You know why I don't care? Because that was the game plan. You're going to beat us. You're going to earn it through one way. You're going to put the ball in the air. We know you got to throw the ball, and we're going to take it from you. We're going to take it from you. And what they did is they said every time we took an L, it was because they could run the ball. But once they realized they didn't have to worry about running the ball, it was over. Now I'm going to tell y'all what else I saw in this game. Because there's a lot of people who wanted the head coach fired. There's a lot of people who said, no, the problem is the head coach. It's coaching. It's not the general manager. I think the general manager argument still holds. Make no mistakes about it. But what y'all don't realize is, look who got called up. Look what Dan Campbell did. He calls up Jared Davis. What is Jared Davis good at? Blitzing and playing the run. What do you know? Right? He literally made a game plan that allowed for movement to happen on the D-line, and he only can do that by bringing certain players up. He knew that he was going to be down a cornerback. He got one of them that was sick. And what he did is he said, we're going to have to play better in that front seven. That's what we're going to have to play it at. So early on, the game plan was simple. Shut the run out. Shut it completely out. Make them pass the ball. And you know what happened? The reality of what was wrong with this season came to fruition. The defense is the sole reason why the Lions are winning games. Well, you can't just say that, Luke. That's not fair. Nope, stay with me for a second. When I say that, I mean simply this, that offense was always performing. The offense was always putting up points. It's why I believe they have a record now for the most points scored over 30 points or something like that, with 8 or 9 or something like that, right? Because they now have a defense that can at least be complimentary. If you look at everything I ever said that I wanted from this team and how I see this team having success, and you're honest with yourself, you would know that this is not me making it up. I said we need to get focused on running the ball. We need to get focused on being able to control clock. We need to be focused on the defense that can get stops. Everything that I pointed out is starting to come to fruition. I said you can't fire the head coach. The problem is not with the head coach. Things that don't correlate, like RB Pleasant getting fired, don't correlate. Trading TJ Hockenson don't correlate. All that stuff, man, I don't want to hear that. There's no correlation to it. What does correlate is when you have a head coach and a defensive coordinator who can put their head together and say, you know what, this scheme ain't working. We got to change it. And those little subtle changes made a difference. Shout out to the Niners fan. Those scheme changes made a difference. But when the defense performed, games look different. I remember a few weeks ago, I made a statement and I said the biggest turnaround in a game against the Bills was the fumble by Jamal Williams. I said the momentum completely switched. It changed everything. Everybody and their mama told me, oh, you know, that's not true. That play happened so early, it wasn't that big of a deal. And I'm thinking, okay, what do they do? They come out the next week and they credit what they did to the Jacksonville Jaguars to that forced fumble on ETN. Well, Luke, why are you talking about that? We're talking about the Vikings. I'm finna show you how it all ties in. When you're looking at these games, because some of y'all get crazy. Y'all get crazy when y'all hear the word pressure. Oh, pressure, pressure, pressure. Pressure does not matter if it does not result in a negative play. Yeah, I said that. I don't care if you disagree with it. You show me the guy who go, oh, it was pressure, pressure, pressure. Aaron Rodgers was always under pressure. Nobody cares. It has to result in a negative play, or they should not count it as a pressure. That's just my view, right? That game yesterday wasn't about pressure. You know what that game was? It was literally stop the run. It was literally stop the run. Shut the run down. Everything else will follow. Everything else will follow. Oh, they got pressure. I don't want to hear about no damn pressure. When the quarterback is on the ground, we can talk about it. Because when you look at the plays where they put the quarterback on the ground and they had negative plays that went with it, look how they changed the way they played on third down. And yes, the defense is still giving up big plays. So to all the people who want to tell me about Kirby Joseph, kick rocks. He got a lot to learn. He has a lot to still learn and pick up. Because I'm tired of watching our safeties disappear on big downs. I don't point out things because I just want to be right. I don't point out things because I just want to be opposite or different. I point them out because guess what? I see better out of this team. And to all the people who told me and every other person, oh man, this team is a 6-win team and there's no way they're going to win double digits. Hold my damn beer. Well, Luke, they ain't did it yet. Hold my beer. Because the reality is this team is better than a record. To all the people who said you are what your record say you are, hold my beer. And I don't even drink, but I need you to hold on to it. The reality is that this team is better than you thought. This team is better than you gave credit to. This team deserves higher expectations. This is not a team that y'all should have low expectations for. This is a good team because it's coached well. That's the difference. It's coached well, and they understand to right the ship. And the game against the Vikings was everything I wanted to see. Get a lead, never give it up. Check. Finish the game by running the ball. Check. Get the young guys involved. Check. Give me creative play calling. Double check that one. Greatest play I ever seen in Lions history. I thought, I'm no joke. When they sent Penei Sewell in motion, I'm like, oh, here come a run. They threw it to him. What the hell? And if he wasn't so focused on making the catch, I think he would have still been running. But I'm telling you, when I say this team deserves a higher expectation, put some respect on it. Yeah, my prediction of them probably going 10-7 still look good. And they could probably end up going 9-8. But if you remember, I told you I'm not accepting anything less than 8 wins. I'm not. This team had a lot of fortunate things that lined up for them. This team is getting healthy when everybody else is being hurt. This team is playing meaningful football late in the season. And ironically, they're doing it the way I saw most teams doing it through history, which is running the damn ball. Like, seriously. To the people, I had my chat blew up. I don't know how fast y'all can type, but I've had quite a few messages. I had quite a few messages, and this is why you draft JEMlive. It was a blown coverage. Relax. Like it was such a blown coverage that it was obvious that like you could have did it. Relax. I'm happy we got the touchdown. I'm happy we scored. I didn't even get the diagram ready, John. My bad. But the reality is this team is better than what many of you thought. Y'all expectations were too low. Look at the things that they're doing over the last 5 weeks. They're putting points up, but the defense is still able to keep teams well beneath them. And many of the point totals that I'm seeing are coming late in the game, but at that point, it don't matter. We've had control over the game. My early gripes was just that. I'm just telling the truth. When you look at these games, when you go through and you look at this game in particular, it was exactly how it looks. I tell people all the time, any game where you win 2 out of the 3 phases of football, you dominated. You totally dominated when you win all 3. Look at that game and tell me that Minnesota won any phase of that game. You couldn't say that they won on offense. You couldn't say that they won on defense. You couldn't say that they won on special teams. And to the same people who was bitching and moaning and complaining about Dan Campbell's play calling, he did the same thing. I don't hear nobody complaining about the 4th down call because it worked. But everybody like to talk when it's hindsight. You have to respect the decisions of a coach when it's good and when it's bad. And that was a gutsy-ass call. Brilliant. Not because it worked, because it was where-all. It was the where-all to say, you know what? They think we finna punt. They clearly feel comfortable that we're going to punt. Nope, we're going to run it. And to number 33, Williams, whatever his damn name is, you should be lucky they don't bite your kneecaps off with that dumb penalty. DJ says, that's why I said it's not the GM, it was coaching. After they slowed it down, the defense got better. It's a GM, and I'll tell you why. It's a GM. It's a GM because they still have the same problem. They're still giving up a ton of points, right? They're still giving up a ton of points. They're still making a bunch of mistakes. I get that they're a young team, right? But to think that, oh, it's just Dan Campbell's a problem. No, his side of the ball performed and has performed the whole time. One of the reasons why they fired Mike Zimmerman was because Minnesota's defense sucked, and it's still having trouble right now. If that defense was still performing, Mike Zimmerman would still be the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. And they got rid of Matt Nagy because what? He was supposed to be, I believe, an offensive-minded guy, and that offense sucked. You don't get rid of people when that side of the ball is making sense. The same reason why Sean Payton never got fired, because the offensive side of the ball on the Saints was doing their job. But we had to get rid of Matt Patricia, right? Because Matt Patricia at that point was a defensive, quote-unquote, rocket science guru, and the defense sucked. All I'm saying is it's time to change expectations. I had a lot of people who told me I wasn't being fair for saying that Aiden Hutchinson should have 10 sacks. That's not fair. He's got 4 games left. He got what, 7 or 8? Yeah. And I'm gonna say something else that's controversial because I'm hyped. I'm excited we won this game. We should have won that game. Like, seriously. We should have won that game. Luke isn't supposed to be happy about a 6-7 record. Y'all accept mediocrity too much. I'm not happy about a 6-7 record. I'm happy about the trajectory the team is playing. I'm happy about the fact that we're beating teams we're supposed to beat. I'm happy about the fact that we're continuing to score points, but we're continuing to show improvement. I'm happy about the fact that we're still in playoff contention talks while the Green Bay Packers over there trying to get ready for the draft. I'm happy about the fact that, hey, with a little luck, you still got a chance for the division. I'm happy at the fact that, guess what? Teams are actually starting to pay attention to us because they're like, hey, this might be the one. That's what I'm happy about. I'm happy that I can go through and see piece by piece on what they're doing. Look who the teams are going to play. They get ready to play the Jets. They're not special. You got the Bears still. They're not special. You got the Panthers. They're not special. And you got the Packers. There's no way you should lose those games. You just shouldn't lose them. That's what I'm happy about. This team is doing what they're supposed to do. And the best part about it is this was a game where they didn't run that much. They didn't run the ball that much. If you look at the box score, you would think that they killed it on the run game. But that one run, most of it came from freaking what's the dude name? TJ Moore on that fake punt. 16 carries, 37 yards. That's what I'm happy about. I'm happy to see them do old school football in a lot of ways where I can say, you know what? We're running the ball when we need to. To close that game out, look how they ran the damn ball. Man, it was so inspiring to be like, damn, we really, like, you realize the clock was at like 7 minutes when we started running the ball and we ran it all the way down, leaving them a little bit of time to try to figure out life. The success of this team was always going to be predicated on the defense. It's one of the reasons why I was upset with Brad Holmes, because coming into it, the biggest problem I saw was the defense. And the defense still is a problem. And yes, are they playing better? Absolutely. I love it. I got game balls to give out and shit. Like, I feel good. Have I still waved the white flag on Jared Goff? Yes. Do I still think we should take a quarterback? Yes. Why? Because competition brings out the best of you. Iron sharpen iron. There should be somebody back there threatening you. I don't think Nate Stubblefield is a threat to Jared Goff's livelihood. It's just not. Like, if you don't believe me, let me put a lion behind you and see how fast you run. Hey, I can put a dog behind you and see how fast you run. But game ball goes to Jared Goff. Why? Because he managed the game appropriately. And while many of those passes were ugly as hell, they got there. Game ball goes to the rushing attack. Yeah, on the day, 134 yards on 30 carries. Cool. But the reality was, you could take 42 of those off. It still worked out because most of those yards came at the end of the game. Kudos to them. Game ball to the receivers. That catch from J-Mo, happy to see it. It was a better catch from DJ Chark on the sideline. I was like, holy smokes. Way to wake up and get in there. Amon-Ra still doing Amon-Ra. Josh Reynolds still doing Josh Reynolds. Penei Sewell, I didn't know he had it in him, but now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Game ball to the defense, who showed up and ready to play. Ready to get beyond the bend, don't break mantra. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm talking about. What's my man's name? The cornerback. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Jacobs. There's a few plays. If he don't break it up, it's a touchdown. Game ball. Dan Campbell. Ben Johnson. Game ball. You know what? Now that I think about it, everybody get a damn game ball minus a kicker. Can't miss that kick. I'm sorry. And I'm tired of watching him miss kicks and clutch points. Can't miss the kick. But in my opinion, you have the right coach. I'm going to trust that the general manager addresses the problem that it's been for the last 2 seasons. Dr. Detroit says, how many game balls you giving out? Shit, you got one, you can have one too. You could definitely have one. Everybody get a game ball because you know what else the fans did? And it's something so subtle that I bet you many of you didn't do. So because I was trying to hear what was going on in the game, because somebody, if I just try to listen to it with the sound on, I turned the sound up for the game. And every time we went on offense, you can hear a rat piss on cotton. Every time we went to offense, you can hear a rat piss on cotton. The crowd got quiet. One time, Jared told them to get quiet, and they shut the hell up immediately. And the moment that it went back to Minnesota, it sounded like controlled chaos. Absolute chaos. Noise on top of noise. I'm in a good mood. But I'm just giving y'all the heads up. I'm not for the BS today. I'm not for it. Because I'm telling you that many of the things that I talked about is coming to fruition. A team that can run the ball, play defense, and a quarterback who can manage it. People act like they forget. We did all that. We did all that with pieces that should not be able to work. Let me put the link in the chat, people, because I know y'all got stuff y'all want to talk about. And over here, you are allowed to be a part of the conversation. Over here, you are allowed to be a part of the show because I'm not the only Lion fan out here. I ain't the authority. We want what they say in the Drumline movie, one band, one sound. Yeah, that's what we is. One roar, one sound. Link is put up. I'm pinning it up right now. All I ask is if you come in, talk your stuff, man. You know what I mean? Come in ready to talk your stuff. If you drunk, don't come in. I'm gonna put you out because I can't do it today. Okay? And also, I'm giving everybody a chance to talk their piece. But yeah, this is a day to be celebrated because I think what we did was 100% exceptional. Like, it was there. It was there. I was so proud of our fans. They had to sell seats for people to get up in there to stand up. Bears eliminated. All the other people was eliminated, and that's crazy. Let me get my first guest in the building. My man Crimson Shadow. I see you in the back, brother. Hold tight. Hold tight.
What's up, bud? Hey, man. First time coming in, actually.
Hey, Crimson, what's going on, man?
Nothing much here, man. Dude, I'm celebrating you. I haven't seen this team this good since 2014. You know I'm feeling real good.
But the biggest difference, if you look at this season as a whole, the biggest difference is the performance of the defense somehow matching the energy of the offense.
That's the thing, because for a while now, we've just been having the offense carry the defense, and the defense was so ungodly horrible that not even the offense could carry them. Now the defense is starting to actually get up and be like, okay, now we got to hold our end of the bargain. They didn't really even need to do much. Offense still carries, but they do just enough to where it just gets us to the finish. Like Alex Anzalone, man's playing like a man possessed out there. Malcolm Rodriguez, still loving him. Him and Hutch just bullied freaking Cook. Love it. And to be fair, everyone's holding it. Isaiah Buggs with that fumble. And then freaking Kirby Joseph recovering it. Freaking, like you said, Jerry Jacobs has been... I love having Jerry Jacobs back out there. And, okay, I know people are burning Mike Hughes. Okay, you gotta cover Jefferson. That's a fate, okay? That's a huge thing to cover to him. He is a freaking monster. Love J-Mo's back. Love he got his first touchdown. Still limited snaps. And I also, the Penei Sewell catch, that was freaking legendary. That was one of the best. That reminds me of the Decker red zone catch that ended up into
it was better than that. It's better than that because he took off running full speed, turned on a route, caught it, and had the presence of mind to get forward. And then got up and slapped the guy. So that's even better for me. I mean, I know y'all don't like it, all stepping on people and stuff. I love it, but that's just reality, man. Let me get a few more people in here. They roll in here, holding the back for me, Crimson. I know it's going to be some shit right here. When I saw the name, I knew what it was. But it's my man, Micro Mike in the building. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, Victory Monday, man. It's okay. I see in the chat, you can't be happy with a victory. Bro. Hey, man, you can be happy with a win, dog. Hey, you can be happy with a win. It ain't there yet, but you can enjoy the little things. We can enjoy this victory. 5 out of 6, dog. This team's starting to turn it up. I love what I'm seeing out of the offense. Love what I'm seeing, the defense improvements. This is great. December football in Detroit. We went through the Patricia trash. Isn't it nice that we're through that and we're now with something that's good?
Yes, because you know the difference? The difference is you have a coach who knows how to lift you up even when you down, right? And, you know, a lot of the things that people want to point against, like saying that, oh, he didn't do this and he didn't do that. That stuff only happened because, look, you have to be able to do it. He had to step away from his side of the ball, which was the offense, which he should, as a head coach, and get his hands dirty. But nobody is talking about this, what Anthony is saying. Nobody's talking about how Dan Campbell has been out-coaching these coaches. They want to
get dude, he out-coached them. Dude, the whole coaching staff. The ridiculous calls that they did there, that Penei Sewell, that number 1 wide receiver we have in Penei Sewell, that was the most sick call I think I've ever seen. That and them going for it was aggressive, absolutely aggressive with the fake punt. I know a lot of people say if they didn't make that, they would be upset at Dan Campbell. But I said before the game that you got to be aggressive in a game like this because, you know, the Vikings can score quick. We've seen it with Kirk Cousins, 430 yards passing. But, man, he did outcoach him. Absolutely outcoached him. And it was brilliant to watch.
This is how you knew it was an outcoach. I see you in the back, Manny. And let me see. I see you in the back. Oh, I know who that is. That's my man Greasy. I see you in the back. Just hold tight. This is when I knew he outcoached him. I want y'all to understand this because, and I watched the media for the other teams. They didn't do what our media do to our coach, right? I realized that he outcoached him when Kevin O'Connell went for 2. I was like, what the heck? It's the 1 possession game.
That was weird.
I was like,
that was weird.
What are you doing?
And he went for it on 4th down that quick. I was thinking, what the hell?
Like
that was way too quick for me.
And that tells me that he knew that he knew that the momentum was getting away from him and he needed something to spark his team. So he went desperate mode. He went, and nobody is talking about how Dan Campbell made that happen. Because he was, and if you watch Dan Campbell on the sideline, at every big play and small play, he hyping them up as they come off the field. It was just beautiful to see. And I think too often people don't want to give credit where credit is deserved because it's too much. Like I said, they love blowing me up when did you see that? He burnt the whole defense. And I'm like, it was.
Hey man, I got to speak on that too, folks. Guys, it's okay to be wrong. As commentators, we're wrong. I thought Amani would have a great year this year. That was a huge fail. Okay, it's okay. We're all Lions fans. We're all going to make right takes. We're going to make bad takes. It's completely okay to be right or wrong. At the end of the day, we're all Lions fans. We all want one thing. Victories and wins. Let's just enjoy it, guys. We don't need to say, "Oh, you are wrong here. You were wrong there. You were right here." Okay. At the end of the day, does it really matter? I said, does it really matter? We're winning. It doesn't matter, man. I've been wrong on so many things, bro. First off, Amani is trash.
When I say that I've been wrong, they don't hear that. But let me get Manny in here. Just hold tight for me, all right, man? All right, let me
jump in and let you guys do your thing for a little bit. I'll be in there listening.
Hey, I appreciate you, Mike. Thanks for coming through. Manny, you are up, brother. Give me your thoughts on this Lions game. Let me know what your feelings is and how you feeling.
Yeah, I definitely feel great. I just want to shed some light on an unsung hero. Khalif Raymond, man. One thing about that guy, glue guy, man, his punt returns are aggressive. Makes the first guy miss and the straight, foot on the ground and upfield. I'm a Khalif Raymond fan.
I think when you look at Khalif Raymond, the one thing that stands out to me is he's a bit of a problem because when you don't expect for him to do certain things, it turns into a bigger problem. It was a few plays that they threw short, and the first thing that he did was, just like you said, made a guy miss and got to the first. And yes, those kick and punt returns that really the punts really, where he's being aggressive and taking advantage of those little things. That's part of that dominant force that I be wanting to see when I look at games. I feel like to date, I think we don't dominate in like 4 or 5 games because you figure, okay, they dominated the Packers and people know they didn't. It was Luke. It was only 15-9, and then they're not asking this question: what phase of the game did the Packers win? Huh? What phase of the game did they win? Yeah, that part. That's a domination. And so to me, Khalif Raymond added to the problem because he continued to put us in good field position, and he also gave us opportunity to make it to where they saw him going in motion or St. Brown. Let's figure out who getting the ball, and then the ball will go to somebody totally different like Jackson or Reynolds. And so that lets you know that they're doing enough to press the issue that you better watch me or I'm going to make you pay. So, I mean, unsung hero, absolutely. I can respect that.
Yeah, I definitely love the glue guys of this team. Important players in any team like Justin Jackson, Khalif Raymond, Kaminsky, and Bugs showing up. Wow. It's going to be a really interesting offseason because now with DJ Chark playing like this, you might need to re-sign a guy like that.
No.
So that's Jameson's spot, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, you at this point you got to listen. What did you bring Jamison for, right?
Yeah.
You already got Reynolds shored up, so that gives you another safety blanket. You already got St. Brown, and he's shored up, and then you brought in Jamison. No, Chalk he's here for what he's supposed to be here for. I wouldn't bring him back. That's just me.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty expensive too, just to market. So what do you think about that right guard spot? Because you have to address it.
Well, obviously that's a position that they definitely got to address. I mean, it was a few moments where There were some questionable calls where they called, I believe it was a hold, and I was like, "You gonna show me the way?" Like, and they showed it, and I did not see a hold at all on Logan Steinberg. Like I was confused. But do I think it needs to be upgraded? Yes, but I have a lot of controversial points that people ain't gonna like. Like in my opinion, and I know this is gonna piss a lot of people off, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. Based on what I've seen through the games, James Houston is a better pass rusher than Aiden Hutchinson. Just he's more naturally gifted at pass rushing than Aiden Hutchinson.
I would agree with that.
It's not a knock on Aiden Hutchinson. It's just saying that when I look at it from what I'm seeing, like James Houston looks way more natural as a pass rusher than Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson doesn't look that natural as a pass rusher. But it is what it is.
You're right. But Aiden's a more complete player. I mean, that's why you get him at number 2, right?
Exactly.
Man,
right.
That TFL he got was amazing.
Yeah, and that's all you're asking for. You're asking for a play to be made, and that's all you can say. It says pay a right guard or trade for Quentin Nelson. I'll trade for Quentin Nelson right now. Like right now. I would, yeah.
I mean, like him or not, that O-line is Bob Quinn's, man.
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo says, look again, look respectfully. I just feel like when I watch Aiden Hutchinson as a pass rusher, I 100% believe that James Houston is a better pass rusher at this point. At this point, I think it's still time, though. You got anything else before I move on to the next person, Manny?
No, I'm all good, brother. Go Lions.
Hey, appreciate you for showing up, man. Hope you stay in the chat and keep rocking with us, man. If you want to hang back so you can jump into the group talk, feel free to just hang back in the background, and then I ask you in when we do group talk.
All right, I'm here.
All right. My man Kobe says, bro, Luke, what the F are you talking about? Well, I'm just telling you, when I watch it, I watched that game, and for all the things that I saw Aiden Hutchinson do, most of the wrecking was coming from James Houston. Like that little fucker is like very good at pass rushing. That damn dip, all the little counter moves he made is unbelievable. It was a time in the game where Aiden Hutchinson got what could have been perceived as pressure, and he did a spin move and lost the quarterback, and the quarterback was right there next to him. So, and again, I'm not saying that James Houston is better than Aiden Hutchinson. He's a better pass rusher at this point than Aiden Hutchinson. There's a difference. Let me get my man in here, Greasy. Greasy, you in there, man? What you got for me? I see you in the back, Anthony. Hold tight for me.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, what's up, bro?
What's going on with you, man? What you got for us today?
No, I was just impressed with the overall win, bro.
You said what now?
I'm just impressed with the overall win. We finally come to get it together.
Absolutely.
Bro. You know what I mean? Proud to be a Lions fan right now, man.
Because you know what you see? You see fight. You see will. You see desire. You see
urgency.
You see no let up. You see urgency. You see a team who believes that that start don't define us, and that's what gets you excited.
For sure. That's all I wanted to say, bro.
Hey, man, love you much, man. Appreciate you for coming through, rocking with me, man.
For sure, bro. Always, bro.
Yes, sir. Look, if you can walk away from a game feeling like your team saw not only light at the end of the tunnel, but they saw the destination that they're headed, what more can you get mad at? Like, what more can you get mad at? It says Hutch has potential for 15 sacks. That's a little rough. That's a little rough, Kobe. I mean, he should get 10. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If he gets 10, he'll be in the company, in some good company with some people. And a lot of people thought I was being unfair, and saying that he should have 10 sacks. Oh, that's not a fair number, No, it is a fair number. And I'm gonna tell you right now something else. I hate to say this, but I don't even think if he don't get 10 sacks, I don't think he can win Defensive Rookie of the Year. He has to get 10 sacks to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm not saying that he's hot garbage. I'm saying that right now, James Houston as a pass rusher is much further along than Aiden Hutchinson is as a pass rusher, naturally. That's all I'm saying. But I'm just putting it out there. I think in order for him to win the Defensive Rookie of the Year, he's going to have to get 10 sacks. You know what I mean? Seriously, because Sauce Gardner is making it real hard on everybody. He's just making it hard. Not only him, the guy over there in Seattle, Twerk Woolen. How you pronounce it? Twerk, whatever. I guarantee you, Anthony, I'll pronounce this goddamn name. Anthony from Royal Alliance UK. What up, though?
Hey, Luke, how's things?
Man,
Feels
and
like
listen,
it's been a while since I've chatted with you.
listen, man, listen.
Is work still treating you bad?
It's not just work. So it's life. So I have a few life changes, and so one of the things that's changed in my life is with the passing of my brother, it's left a void within his children, and so they need a father figure. So why not me, right? Yeah. So I've taken on more responsibility, and so instead of me just having my 2 boys, I got some more children. That's all. So it's more time consuming than I thought. So, but I got it. I got it covered. If not nobody, why not me? But I mean, it says, Luke, man, finally we have a good team. It's one of those things, man. Shout out to my man Juwan in the building. What's going on, brother? It's one of the things where you never think about it. I was so excited I didn't even do the roll call. Like that's how I was feeling about it. Like that's how I was feeling about it. He said the voting is rigged. He said he won't even win with 10. I think he'll win with 10. He'll win with the 10 sacks because he got the 2 interceptions. That's why. Because at that point you couldn't deny him. He's the 2nd overall pick. It's good for the league to have people that they want to see. So those 10 sacks with 2 picks, he'll win it. But if he don't get the 10, I promise you, if he don't get the 10, he's not winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Anthony, I saw you over there having a lot of fun. You was dressed up like a goddamn Christmas tree. It was beautiful. The lights were flashing. You had on the you can't see me glasses. Everything was going on, and I know most people saw it. But what are your overall thoughts?
I really enjoyed the game. I've really enjoyed these last couple of games. We've sort of gone from a scrappy team. We sort of won a few games. We were getting there to now we're really starting to dominate. You know, the whole point of this team, it was assembled to dominate in the trenches, and we're doing that. We're kicking teams' asses with the offensive line, the defensive line. We're creating pressure on the quarterbacks. But most importantly is the unison between the three areas of the team, your offense, your defense, your special teams. In this game, what was noticeable to me, they all worked together, but when one unit would fail, when one unit would not do so well, the other units will pick it up. So take the start of the game, for example. The first offensive drive was garbage, straight trash, 3 and out, can't run the ball, getting 3rd and long, and the pass rushers do their work and we have to punt it away. Jack Fox kicks it to the moon, pins them right back in their half. It was a sensational piece of special teams play. The defense then comes out. So you have Aiden, who makes a run stuff tackle for loss on 2nd down. You've got Chris Board, who comes out on 3rd down and pass breaks up Justin Jefferson. Then on 4th down, after that penalty, you've got Malcolm Rodriguez and Jeff Okudah who come in and make the stop on the run, turnover on downs. That's all 3 levels of your defense. First touch, then Board, and then Okudah and Rodriguez. All 3 levels of your defense make big plays on a drive. Turn the ball over, give it to your offense in a favorable location. 2 plays later, we're in the end zone. J-Mo's in there. We've busted it out. So from a bad offensive drive, special teams has done its part. Defense has done its part. And offense does its part in unison and puts points on the board. It was the same with the second one. It was a case of Jack Fox pinned them back in their own 10, gave them no room to work with whatsoever. Rodrigo drills Matheson in the backfield like a loss of 3. Then Jerry Jacobs has a pass breakup on Jefferson. And then Okudah stops Jefferson from getting that 1st down, the one where he carries it back over the line to gain. And then you have a situation where they punt it, Raymond returns it, puts them in a favorable position again. 1 play, we're in the end zone, DJ Chark. All 3 units of this team were working in unison. And when the Vikings made a mistake, we punished them. We absolutely made them pay for some of these calls they made. And that is what this team is about. It is about domination, kicking the other team while it's down, making them pay for their mistakes and carrying on with it. And that's what I love most about this team I've seen in the last few weeks. It is working as one. And when one part falls, the other 2 drag it forward. You go together, you win as a team, you lose as a team. And we've not seen that for years.
That's all you can ask for. That's all I ever wanted. Run the ball, play defense, and manage the game. Everybody think you need to go out and get the world greatest quarterback. You don't. We went to the NFC Championship with Eric Kramer. Okay.
I got a lot of egg on my face at the moment because at 1-6, I thought Goff was done. I did. I thought it was over. But Goff has, to his credit, He is the last 3 weeks. He's diced defenses: the Bills, the Jags, the Vikings. I know they're protecting him well, but he himself looks more confident. When he got hit during this game, when he got the unnecessary roughness penalty against him, he saw the gap. He ran with the ball with such a purpose. I have never seen it before from him. He looked like a leader on the field who said, right, I'm going to take this game by the scruff of its neck and make a play. He ran with purpose, which I've never seen him do before. He waited till the last minute, drew the foul. It was like, I felt like for the first time, I'm seeing my quarterback lead his team. You wondered before whether he was a leader, whether the team would follow him. Right now, that team is following him, and he is acting like a leader. And I think as weeks go on, this team is his. This team is 100% his, and he is performing very well, and I'm damn well happy for him.
Listen, I'm gonna bring everybody else in who came on, and some people came in and jumped out. So if you want to come in and be a part of it, please do so. Again, I listen. I want y'all to be clear about something, right? All right. When it comes to Jared Goff, my stance has not changed. I have still just surrendered. I can't, right? I can't begin to tell you how, for me, yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing, but I'm more impressed with how they're designing the play calls and how they're setting it up for people to be successful. So that's all it is. Let me bring everybody.
It's what happened, Luke, when JMO came. I don't know you're not so keen on the JMO pick and everything, but since Jameson Williams is back, our offense can be unlocked because we have a downfield threat now. The Vikings, they came into this game and they said, you know what, this is Detroit. They're going to run the ball on us. They sold out on the run this entire game. And what did we do? We kept slicing them through the air. Why? Because we have bona fide downfield threats now. J-Mo, only got one, but Chark looked a lot better as well. This playbook is wide open. If teams are going to continue to sell out the run against us, then Williams and Chark are going to get so many touchdowns here because they left their corners one-on-one with our guys, and we absolutely rinsed them. Now this offense is healthy and all the weapons are together. You're seeing the designs that Brad Holmes wanted to put together for this team. Downfield threat means you've either got to sell against the run and we're going to kill you through the air, or you've got to give some coverage protection to your secondary and we'll kill you with the run on the ground because you can't stack up against us. This offense now, the world is its oyster.
I felt like the Lions played inside out. So I didn't really feel like they were doing a lot of over the top, and that was the issue. Like for me, they played so much inside with the routes and stuff like that it caused a lot of confusion. And I feel like that was the thing. They found ways to play design to get linebackers on receivers. And that's not something we were used to seeing. They found ways to, to stay aggressive in times where, they didn't necessarily need to. But nobody's complaining about going for it on fourth downs this week, right? Because they all were successful. Nobody's complaining about going for a fake punt because it was successful.
But they schemed it right. And, you've got a good offensive play caller. I think Campbell's having his input as well. But the one that really set up for me is when we converted the 3rd and 1, then they said on the broadcast at the time, the Vikings bringing in all the heavies. I think it was in the 4th quarter when we were driving. It was the second to last drive. They brought in all their big D-line guys, expecting us to run it up the middle to stuff us. What does Ben Johnson do? Puts it in motion with Amon-Ra, sends it out wide where the speed is. They've got no coverage. One block, you're out there. We schooled their ass coaching-wise this weekend, whether it was Glenn, whether it was Campbell, whether it was Ben Johnson. Everyone calls Kevin O'Connell an offensive guru, but Campbell had him on toast this week. He is getting so much better at his play calling. It's scary at this point.
It's so scary that, I can't even predict it no more, right? So one of the things about me is when I watch the games, I watch it like I'm preparing for the game myself. And I was able to tell, this is a run left, run right, or this is a pet. I can't even tell what the hell going on no more. I'm like, what the hell is this? I'll give you a perfect example. When's the last time you heard somebody call a trap play? You calling trap plays? And it's like, who wants to run into this dude?
I mean, you played college football. If anybody's going to be able to read defenses, that was your job. You're a linebacker. That was.
But what they're doing is they're disguising it so much that even what I think that I'm seeing is lying to me. It's so well schemed out and to the point where it's making it hard on me.
But it's the long-term scheme as well. I mean, what about the Reynolds touchdown? They spent the entire drive sort of doing the little handoffs and the toss plays and everything. Minnesota bit so hard on that play when we were in the red zone that they thought that the ball was going out wide. Ben Johnson set them up. Not one of them stopped to think, where the fuck's Josh Reynolds? And he had about 15 feet of space in the end zone. Just how they sort of set them up as drives went on with Sewell. They had him as an inside tight end on one play, used him as a blocker. Right at the end of the game, he's in motion again. Vikings didn't give a toss. They thought, he's going to go and block. Linebacker runs right past him trying to blitz. Set them up. It just was the feature of the game. Ben Johnson sort of looked at Donatello and went, right, I know how I'm going to get at you. And he just kept setting him up during the game. Just little plays here, little plays there, setting up the end goal. And when it mattered, he crushed him. It's beautiful to see how they do all this.
All right, let me bring Greasy in. I know he's talking to somebody in the back. Greasy, you free now?
Hey, Greasy.
Yeah, I'm free.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, listen, I have to give credit where credit is due. Like I said, I gave game balls out to a lot of people. This is how I knew I had to give Jared Goff a game ball. Right? It's really 3 plays. The first play is when he scrambles. He was very decisive and getting out the pocket and scrambling when he got that unnecessary roughness hit. But that was a decision that he would usually wait to make. And I went, oh, he dialed in. The next play that let me know he was dialed in was when he was getting ready to get sacked. He shuffled past the ball to the tight end, who completely was like, oh, shit, what is this? And dropped it. And I'm thinking, even I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't even ready for him to roll out. And the third thing, on top of him using his feet to keep the defense honest, I saw him throw the ball away rather than force it. Praise the Lord.
That's smart.
He was so dialed in. And to me, that's something that was big for me. It was deserving to see him do it and have the success that he had. And I think at that point, they talked about during the broadcast how they was playing unselfish football and how many different people got the ball. And when you go and see in the box score, when you go and look, you're like, dude, he just was like unrelentless. And again, a lot of them passes wasn't pretty. I'm not going to lie. They wasn't pretty, but they got there.
Ducks. He was throwing some ducks.
But they got there.
Some ducks there, though. I felt like we were playing duck hunt, like he was throwing the money ducks, but they was getting there, though.
Yes. So let me ask you all this. I'm going to go down the line and go through it. Starting with you, Manny. I want to start with you on this one. Like, what was your biggest takeaway from the game? Because I had one takeaway that I think was the biggest takeaway from that whole game that lets me know that, look, the season get in how it's going to end. I still feel confident in what I'm seeing in terms of our team. But what was your biggest takeaway from that game?
Ben Johnson's a real deal because he definitely just got that Vikings defensive coordinator fired after this season.
I mean, they've been having a rough few weeks, and I'm happy about it. In fact, I hope they have a bunch of more rough few weeks because if they mess around and end up with 10-7, and the Lions go 10-7, and we have a better division record, guess who win the division?
Lions.
Ding, ding, ding. So, hey. You just need to believe. Keep hope alive, right? What was your biggest takeaway, Grizzy?
I just like the fact that we controlled all 4 quarters in all 3 aspects of the game. Offense, defense, special team. Except for that missed kick. But I swear to God, like I said, as Lions fans, man, we deserve this, man. We done been through some 0-16, Stafford getting traded, Calvin Lee. Bro, we done been through some hard times. To see us on the up and up is beautiful, bro. To see us getting recognized through ESPN and everything is beautiful, bro. Like, I swear to God, like, can't nobody tell me shit right now about, like, excuse my French. You know what I mean? Like, we're on the up and up, bro. And it's not just gonna be this year, bro. As Lions fans, we got to look forward to next year, the year after that. And they didn't build a foundation, bro. Now let's just build the walls and complete the house, bro. That's all I gotta say, bro.
All right, Crimson, what is your biggest takeaway from the game? Like the biggest one that it just stood out to you?
What stood out to me was I was just absolutely shocked that we weren't relying on one aspect of the game. We controlled every aspect. We could control the run. We could control the pass. They couldn't stop our wall. They couldn't stop anything that we threw. Well, We absolutely dominated, and we've been doing this to every other team. Everyone else is like, oh, you didn't beat anyone. You beat Green Bay. You beat Chicago. Jacksonville ain't anybody. There, finally, they did exactly what I asked them to do.
And division opponent.
That's what I live for, and I'm conflicted. If we're going to make the playoffs or not. I don't know if I should take that seriously, but god dang it, I'm hopeful.
Not only that, our team is having fun. You feel me? They out there enjoying themselves. Panay Soup, Shark out, man, they out there enjoying themselves, man. That's something to build off, man. Big shout out to Dan Campbell, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said,
also saw love for
Justin
Jackson.
Shout out to the Justin Jackson talk. I'm gonna leave that one alone, but I'm leave that. I think it's a little premature. The Justin Jackson love is a little bit premature, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
They need to beat 33's ass too for that stupid ass.
Don't get me started on 33. I'm like, hey, you know,
if I was in that locker room, bro, I would have smacked his neck.
Shout out to my homie out here. My man Numbers J is in the building. He says Delvin got cooked. And his evil voice. That's how I feel like he did it. But to show you how bad it was, man, that dude literally had 14 carries for 6 yards at halftime.
And a fumble.
At halftime. And the other issue that, you know, we have to take a look at, because I believe that, the fumble I think came in the second half too, if I'm not mistaken. But he finished the game with 15 carries for 23 yards. I want y'all to understand something. He had 14 in the first half and finished it with 15 carries for 23 yards. It was a rough day for the man, to say the least. And that's all you can ask for, to be honest with you. That's really all you can ask for. I see my man Manny has jumped up. Appreciate you for coming through, Manny, and showing love. And it is really, but Anthony, give me your biggest take from the game. I mean, I'm surprised nobody has said the one I'm thinking of. But what was your biggest take from the game, Anthony?
My biggest take from the game is this team's heading exactly in the right direction that it needs to this season. I mean, screw everyone who said that we needed to tank this season. This is what's best for the team. Everyone back at 1-6. I want the first overall pick. Yes. I want high draft picks. This is what is best for our football team. You have seen over this last month, 5-6 weeks now, actually, what winning does for a team. The objectives for this year were for the young players to carry on getting better, and these last 2 draft classes are sensational in terms of what they're doing. The development is phenomenal. The team needed to start learning how to win games. It's doing that now, frequently, on a regular basis. This is what a confident young team can achieve. It has no limits. It will not be told no. It will not be told that anything is impossible. It will go out there and it will kick ass and play hard. This is exactly what it needs to do. And I felt this week was the culmination of all that. The coaches are getting better. The play calling is getting better. The team is getting better. The cohesion is getting better. All facets of this team are moving together as one. And I can finally feel that now in this game. We dominated from start to finish like we did the week after this. And that is my takeaway. Every goal we wanted for the team this year has been met. And I feel supremely confident in where we are going forward. So that's the big thing for me. I'm just glad that they finally seem to have found the swagger, found the enthusiasm, and they're learning how to win games. Exactly what we needed.
Listen. Dr. Detroit says my biggest takeaway is we played aggressive to the very end and didn't play to not lose. That was awesome. But you know what my biggest takeaway from the game was how we responded every single time to whatever they did. Everything they did. They said, we scored a touchdown, they scored a touchdown. Well, let's go score another one, right? Oh, okay. They want to come out and go for it on 4th down. We stood tall and stopped them, right? He wasn't even close. He wasn't even, and again, another person that we have underplayed in terms of talking about are like it's McNeil. I am 100% convinced that McNeil is starting to come into his own, because what he's doing is so freaking crazy. You have any idea how hard it is to play quarterback when the middle of your field of view is being disrupted? He is everybody want to talk about getting double teamed. This man is becoming a problem.
I think you're right, Luke. The big thing is, if you want to see how much better this team's getting, compare this game to the last time we played the Vikings. Every mistake we made in that Vikings game, we rectified for this one. Because that's what you do. You learn, you win, you come back better. The problems we had coaching in the last one, that's gone. Dan Campbell not making any stupid mistakes, being aggressive when he needs to, being conservative when he needs to. The team responding. When Thielen went in for the touchdown, everyone goes, oh, God, here we go. They're coming back. What did we do? Long drive, concerted drive, killed clock, put a touchdown back on them. So you're 7 minutes later in the game, and they're still just as far behind as they were 7 minutes ago. It puts pressure on them, makes them make mistakes, made them throw the game away. And then the most critical thing, in those last 10 minutes, we had what? A 6-minute drive? We converted a 3rd and 9, a 3rd and 3, ended it with a field goal, stretched the lead even further. What we didn't do in that first game, we had 3 drives in the last 10 minutes of that previous one, and we could have put it to bed. We had our asses kicked in the trenches, and we kept having to punt it. We gave them a route back into it, and we lost. In this one, roles reversed. We kicked their ass. We killed the clock. We never gave them a sniff at it. Every mistake we made in that first game, we rectified in this. And that shows the growth of this team. That is one of the biggest things that I took from this game as well. They're learning, and they're becoming bloody dangerous very quickly.
Absolutely. Let me bring in Dose of Goodwin. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much, just chilling. How about you guys?
I'm good, man. You know, it's Victory Monday. Everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm just sitting back. I was told that double-digit wins was ridiculous to even think about, and that this team was a 6 to 7 win team. And you know,
I won't lie. My max was 9 wins, and after that, I'm like, okay, looks like we can make it.
I had them at 10 and 7, right? I had them at 10 and 7. I thought that we would finish second in the division, and I thought that we would finish second in the division to probably Green Bay, and I had Minnesota behind us with the Bears at the bottom of the basement. And I said at worst we should be 8 and 9 at worst. But I was adamant that I'm not accepting 6 or 7 wins. I'm just anything under 6. I'm telling you right now, I'd have said fire the head coach, clean the whole house out. You cannot win less than 6, less than 3 wins or anything. That's just not gonna work for me.
Yeah, it'll be embarrassing.
I count.
But what do you have for the people, man?
Man, the one play that says everything was the Jackson touchdown. When you saw Brock Wright just dominate Danielle Hunter and Jameson Williams, old 180-pound Jameson Williams, run over and take out a safety, that just shows you how physical this team is, how much willing they are to block, and how much they want to win.
Facts.
Brothers in arms.
The key word that I noticed that everyone keeps using is physical, right? That's what you're looking for. And a lot of times people think that you got to have all the best players. No, you just need somebody who gives a care about what they're doing. And that's what it boils down to. Like a lot of people was getting on they was getting on Hughes and Amani. I didn't have a problem with none of them because the way they were designing it to stop the run. So you were going to have some issues. And I saw an interesting thing. Let me see if I can bring it up while you won, because you bring me to another good point that I thought about. Where is it? Let me bring this up right here. Let me just move this right here a little bit. Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring this up on the screen so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Because when we talk about them cornerbacks and stuff, and people don't think about this kind of stuff, but I think it's interesting to see. First of all, James Willis, you make a good point. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but just hold tight. Let me bring this up big. Next gen stats of the game. Justin Jefferson game, 190 of his 223 yards against press coverage in week 14. The most in the game since Julio Jones in week 4 of 2016 season. That's 254 yards. The most yards versus press coverage since 2020 is Jefferson with 18, was basically 1889. Devontae Adams, 1416. So the Lions, so here's the thing. The Lions were giving up that because they were being physical. They were playing press coverage, and they were telling them to press them to the sideline. And when you're doing that all day on a consistent basis, some people are going to break loose. Some people are going to have some moments where they're going to make plays, and that's perfectly fine. The thing was, if you watch the game and how it progressed, as the game went on, they played less and less press and forced them to think that they were going to get it. I often argue when I evaluate cornerbacks coming out of college is, how are you playing mind games with them? I learned this from Deion Sanders when he was doing an interview and he broke down how cornerbacks are supposed to do things. And he talks about the psyche of a cornerback getting into the mind of the players. And when you get to the line and you're pressing them and you putting hands on them and stuff like that, and now you get to the line and you don't touch them and they throwing themselves out for no reason, it changes the way they run routes. It changes the way that they go out and try to catch the ball. These little things made a difference, and that's why you saw some of the things happen. But yeah, they were definitely physical, and that's all you can ask for, in my opinion. What else you got for us, man?
Another thing is James Houston. Gotta give credit and credit due. Luke, your take about him being better pass rusher is 100% right.
I mean, listen, I just call it like I see it. Like what would have happened if Houston would have started from the beginning? Because this man already got 4 sacks in 3 games?
I bet you he would have gotten 6 at the Commanders game easily. See, he would have replaced Julian Corr.
You know what it is though? Is when I watch him, it's like he Shaquille Barrett. He is so that he can get himself skinny and small quickly, and he can get around them. But I like that he has counter moves. Like, he sets you up throughout the game. And like I said, I knew it's going to piss a lot of people off for me to say it, but the tape don't lie. As a nuanced pass rusher, he just looks better right now than Aiden Hutchinson. I'm not knocking Aiden Hutchinson. I'm just saying, look, if that guy started, ain't no telling.
Deion Sanders said it correctly. He told him back when he was up at Colorado, said, man, you are not a linebacker. You're just a pure pass rusher. Get used to it. You cannot be a linebacker. Don't even try it.
Yeah, but how is Houston in the run versus Hutch? I mean, that'll make everyone feel better.
No, I mean, but see, here's the thing. Even when you look at Houston in the run, it's not like he just drop off in that area. I think the difference that wasn't what my point was, because now at that point we're talking about other aspects. I just made the simple observation that as a pass rusher, not talking about is he got better hands. I'm not talking in terms of I'm just saying as a nuanced pass rusher, he is looking better as a pass rusher than Aiden Hutchinson. That's just facts.
I get that. Hutch is just a better all-round guy. When it comes to Houston does one thing and does it very, very well. He's got that bend, and that bend is beautiful.
But see, it's more than that. I'm telling you, I watched this game yesterday. He literally ran out, looked like he was going to bend, spit that thing inside. Kirk Cousins had to roll to his right because he was on his ass. Then there was another play where he bull rushed the dude into him. Aiden Hutchinson is right there on the other side. He does a spin move. Don't even know that Kirk Cousins is to his left. And Kirk Cousins throws the ball for a big play to Jefferson. So I'm just saying, also, just to put it out there, take note of that, people. I want y'all to understand something. The Lions have scored 25 or more points in 5 straight games for the first time since 1954. I wasn't even in my father's nutsack in 1954. You hear me? This is how crazy this is. I wasn't a twinkle in nobody's eye.
He said twinkle in nobody's eye.
Nothing. I was nothing. 1954? Do you know what was happening in 1954? We all would be prosecuted for talking to each other. Do you understand how long that is? And you're talking about this the first time. It's so many things that we just don't really focus on, that we just don't look at. And it's huge milestones to be able to have, I believe it's like an NFL record for the most games with 30 points scored in the season so far, right? Like, the Lions are making history, and they're making history on a positive side. And that's all I'm saying. I would give all the credit in the world, but I don't fully grade rookies until year 3. And if Houston keeps this up, if all the rookies keep this up, then I would be more than happy to say, yeah, Brad Holmes, you got me, right? But I don't judge a DM. I don't judge a GM just on those things. But I'm just telling you, for them to have that stat since 1950, I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's probably about 5 people in here who was even alive when that was going on. Just putting it out there. That's all I'm saying. So just, I'm just saying. I
mean, it's crazy that Goff's about ready to break Stafford's record. for most touchdowns in Lions history and passing touchdowns.
You're right.
That's mind-boggling.
So first black man on that says, Luke, I'm not understanding you, bro. The last conversation we had, you wanted the whole front office fired. All I said was, we injured like crazy. Be patient. Yeah. I wanted everybody fired. You were trending towards another season with 3 wins. Yeah, fire everybody. If you can't turn it around, you got to get fired. See, that's the thing. The NFL, like the NBA, and all these other leagues are performance-based. In fact, they're so performance-based that the moment you don't do well, somebody takes your spot. And so at that point, I'm looking at a number of different things that were not injury-related. Nobody is telling people to miss tackles or not wrap up. Nobody's telling people to go in the wrong spot. That was just them doing it. And I get that it could probably be some youth in it. But the reality is this. Many of the things that I saw were self-inflicted. And at the end of the day, when things don't go well at any company, you have to start from the top and break it on down. And that's just the reality of it. So, yes, when I say fire everybody, I said fire everybody, because if you're telling me, and I told everybody this is not me being flip-floppy or changing the stance. I told everybody, if they win 6 games, in my opinion, people should be fired. And I stand by that. That is recorded. That is my stance on that. If they win 6 games, I wanted people gone because you had an easy schedule. I outlined everything on why they should not just win 6 games.
But yeah, absolutely. I mean, 1-6 is a really hard pill to swallow. We're doing things we've never done in history. Just think about it like this. We might be the first team in NFL history to come back 1-6 and go to the playoffs. Just think about that. That's not normal at all. Who the heck would have saw that coming?
Yeah, again, I'm telling you, I watch these games, and again, it's one of the reasons why I continue to hammer home. Hey, until I see the offense falter, which you can only say the one bad out this team had was against New England. Until I see the offense falter consistently, I can't get rid of the head coach. That's the side of the ball he's most responsible for. And since he has decided to take that over and put more hands on, it has been absolutely phenomenal. That's all I'm saying. Everyone needs to watch Houston at Jackson State with Deion Sanders. Primetime put him at edge. He transferred from the University of Florida as a linebacker. Must watch. Listen. As a pass rusher, he just looks better. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to rewrite or reinvent the wheel, but that's all I'm saying. Let me ask this question because I want to kind of keep it short today. It's a Victory Monday. I'm trying to get back into the groove of thing. Obviously, my schedule is even more tight as I take on different responsibilities. But this is the thing. You know, I gave out game balls to everybody but the goddamn kicker. I didn't get to ask y'all. So let's go down the list. We start off with you, Anthony. Who are you giving game balls out? Now, if you want to do like I did, feel free. But I gave out to everybody but the kicker. I just that missed kick it grind my gears. I'm just gonna put it that way.
I think. Well, I gave 2 earlier. We do sort of 2 up, 2 down in our sport. I gave Goff 1 because I just feel he's been sensational this last month. And you know, you can't ask for any more than him. He's played some of his best ball at the minute. He looked like a leader on the field, and the team feeds off its leader. If the leader's playing well, then the rest of them, they will follow him, and they look like they are. So I'll give him the game. He's had 3 fantastic games. And then on defense, I'd give it to Hutch. I think Hutch came up with the biggest plays when we needed him to. At the end of the first half, him and Houston combined for the sack on Cousins, didn't give him a chance to have a go at a Hail Mary in here. He was good against the run, sort of set the tone, put us in 3rd and long situations where we could send the pass rushers home. And then, of course, the big one, when they're driving in the second half, you got the sack on Cousins, his actual one where he goes through the center. You know, that was huge because they were ripping us apart on that drive. He gets a loss of 7. And then on the 3rd down, he goes in, puts the pressure on, which means Kirk Cousins throws it into the middle of nowhere, holds them to a field goal, just 3 points on the board while they're 15 down, keeps the gap big. Hutch made critical plays when we needed them on defense. So I think he's finally standing up and been the leader in that edge group that we need. He's really maturing as a player. So Goff and Hutch get him for me.
Hey, shout out to my man Curt Steele, a fellow DSA member in Lions on the Prowl. Shit, this dude is he doing the damn thing over there. He doing it all. I gotta say this. I think Curt has one of the best smiles of all the content creators. That man is always happy, and it's always a joy to see. And he having fun, man. And he's one of the coolest people. If you ever get a chance to meet him, I don't think you could ever forget him. So shout out to my man Curt, who shows up and says, "What up, though?" You know what I'm saying? That's how he gets it in. My man's over here, Easy Does It, says our kicker gave himself his own nickname. That's kind of weird. It is. But so did Darius Slay, and it stuck. So they had big play Clay. He went, well, what about big play Slay? So, it is what it is. He won't be the first. BD Buzzer says, give a game ball out to the national media for at least giving some recognition. Yeah. But that's because the Lions are forcing them to do it. The Lions are forcing them to do it, and that's what they're supposed to do. Let me go down to you, my man Grizzy. Who you giving the game ball to?
I'm gonna give the game ball to the special teams coach.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Dude, they had a few punts where I was like, that was covered really well. Like really well. So, hey, I can rock with that.
But I'm gonna get off here, Luke, man.
Hey, you be safe out there, man.
One Pride
okay?
Nation, bro.
Hey, one Pride, baby.
Yep.
Crimson Shadow, who you giving game balls to?
I'm definitely gonna have to give the game ball to Aaron Glenn for turning his this season around. Because at first, after the Seattle game, I almost wanted to shoot him into Lake Erie. I was so freaking done with him. I was so ungodly pissed about the Seattle game, and don't get me started with the Patriots game. I would give him a game ball. I would give Penei Sewell a game ball for that. Just that one play alone is just legendary. When he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, that should be like the highlight play for him right there. I would also give a game ball to Isaiah Buggs for basically putting the nail in the coffin for that fumble for Dalvin Cook and Kirby Joseph taking the ball and running. And, of course, Jared Goff. I can't, like Anthony said, I cannot. That dude has turned his whole career around. I didn't expect him to be this good. I mean, look, I'm eating crow with freaking Detroit forums right now. That guy is on a freaking blood sport right now, and he's got every right to be like that because Goff's just proving all of us wrong. And I don't know how the heck, because apparently Detroit Drew said apparently he's rated 37th on PFF, which I'm like, how the hell is that even possible?
It's PFF.
There's 32 teams.
It's PFF.
How?
It's PFF, and it's 37th because there is not just one quarterback on the team. There's some teams have 3 quarterbacks, some teams have 2 quarterbacks. So he's 37th out of all the quarterbacks, and that includes all backups too. So that's why. But it's PFF, and I can't with PFF, man. PFF can.
They grade the Chicago Bears O-line as 11th best in the NFL.
I can't with them.
That's about all the credibility you need to know.
What?
Yeah.
Like I said, I just can't do it with them. I get the whole. I get it, but I can't.
Oh my God! Also, you liking my dad's Christmas gift? He never got a Barry jersey, so I got him one for Christmas.
So here's the thing. All right, so. First black man on that says, so what's wrong with the kicker? The dude can't miss a field goal. He's constantly killing it. Here's my problem with the kicker. Not only is he missing kicks in crucial points. See, the extra points and all that stuff, that's one thing. But missing kicks in crucial points of the game is unacceptable for me. But on top of that, every kick he does looks like it's going to miss. It looks like it don't have enough steam on it. It don't look fast. It don't look like it's going to go in. And I'm tired of my blood pressure going up, praying that this damn kick stay inside. Okay? And my issue is he better than what we've had? Sure. But can you upgrade from his ass? Yes, you can. Yes. Yes, you can. Right? I don't want to get it confused. But you have to be able. Oh, he said I was born in 1951. So see, at least you was somewhat near your father's scrotum, right? You was somewhere a twinkle in the eye. I was not. But you know, the whole thing of it is I don't believe that he's the answer. And I don't believe that he's somebody that should be retained and kept when I can't trust him to be consistent in crucial points of the game. And I can't trust him. I can't trust him to make some kicks. We got to be in a very particular range for it to do it. And I'm good on that. I'm good on the kicker for real. Like, and true. This is the truth for me. Ramon the New Age is true. Eddie Murray, Jason Hanson, Matt Prater don't spoil y'all. Yeah. I don't like seeing kicks look like they're going to die before they get there. And you see fans in the stadium, they can't even celebrate until the officials tell them it went through because it looked like it's dying. You know, so yeah, he's entitled. I get it. I know it goes in. I can't debate that it goes in, but when you look at it in crucial points of the game, it's just not acceptable that he's missing kicks. I'm sorry. I think one of the kicks he missed in the crucial point of the game wasn't even like long. And we lost that game, which I think was against the Bills. So yeah, kicking is important. Sorry. You know.
At least he's better than most Charger kickers.
Well, so he says, do the numbers. The kids go in, Luke. Do the numbers. All right. I'll do the numbers. Let's do it. All right. Keep in mind, we're talking crucial, right? Right now, from 20 to 29, he's 5 or 6. I don't even know how you miss a kick in that range. That should never happen. That should be automatic, in my opinion. It wasn't blocked. 30 to 39, he's 2 for 2. 40 to 49, he 8 for 9, right? And he's 50 yards out, he's 2 for 2, right? Actual points, he's 22 on 22 attempts, so he's accounting for 73 points. And I get it. Now, here's the numbers for you, right? Here's the numbers for you. He's 17 and 19 on field goals, so he's only missed those right there, right? Now you have the numbers. Those kicks still look like they're dying the moment he kicks them. Those kicks that he's missed were in very crucial times of the game. And when I gave everybody a game ball but him, it was because at that point in the game, that kick should not have been a miss. That's just the reality. I get what you're saying, but that should not be the reality.
What was the distance on that kick he missed? Like, what was it, like 45 or something like that?
Like 45. Yeah, like, come on. You tell me you can kick 50 yards, but 45, God forbid. 20 to 29, God forbid. Come on, man.
To be fair, I've seen Matt Prater miss some really easy chip-in ones that made me go, what the hell? But then he'd go out and do like a 50-yard bomber. Prater was a weird kicker, to be honest, at times. He would miss on the easiest crap, but he could just bomb it down the field if need be. He could do some really weird stuff, I remember. He had the weirdest kick. It just worked, though.
He says, so what's the problem with the kicker? Again, in crucial kicks, he's missing. That's the problem. You know, in crucial kicks, he's missing. That's the problem. And the kicks do not look. When he kicks the ball, I guarantee you most fans are holding their breath because it does not look like it's going to go in. It does not look like it. It looks like it barely gets in most cases. But if the whole goal is we're going to just look at it from it went in, that's all that matters. Okay, what about when you get into a crucial situation again? See, that's what make kickers special. That's what make people like like Jason Hanson. What was the guy that was on the Patriots? Adams, whatever his name. I'm drawing a blank on his damn name.
I don't know why, but I'm thinking of the Ravens kicker with Tucker. But no.
Even Tucker, they make kicks in crucial times, and that's my point. I mean, Anthony, am I crazy here about the kicker?
I think you may be. For me, I think it's a little harsh. I think he's done what has been required of him so far. He's not cost us a game. You know, he's missed some, but they've not cost us. And I feel like he's been. I feel like he's been fine.
The Bills.
Hold on.
No, we cost ourselves the Bills game. We cost ourselves the Bills game. That was the team. That's not just on a kicker. That was the whole team who screwed that one up. No, I think he's a solid. I think he's a solid, if unspectacular kicker. So, I mean, it's a damn sight better than we've had in recent years since we lost Prater. So let's just be grateful for that.
Listen, I totally get it. You know, so the money bagger misses 2 kicks and now he's suspect. Again, when I watch games, I don't just look at box scores. Box scores give you part of the story. What I'm telling you is in crucial parts of the game, he is missing kicks. And you can disagree with that. That's fine. But don't come back bitching about the kicker when it's a crucial part of the game and he missed. I don't want to hear it. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
the crucial parts.
All I say, Matt's got a huge sort of campaign against Scott Daly at the minute. The snaps are not good. I know it's not a full thing, but the snaps are pretty bad at the minute, so I would take that into consideration as well.
That's fair.
Daly's been poor.
Put it all into consideration. Vinatieri, God damn it, thank you, Ramon. I could not think of that dude's name to save my life.
Who was the last kicker we had? The guy we just cut. We thought he was good last year.
Riley Patterson.
And look, here goes somebody who's at the game, who is like, I agree. In the end zone, he says, I'm in the end zone, and you have to wait to make sure the refs say it's good. It looks like it's dying. It looks like it's dying every kick. I'm just being honest.
Put it this way, the kicker class coming through this year isn't exactly teeming with talent. So I don't think you're going to find much better in the draft, to be fair.
Or what about free agency? Because you know this. Or what about I'm
not going to lie, Luke. My knowledge of free agency kickers is I'm not there yet.
I feel you.
That's
That's
too
fair.
far even for me.
That's fair. I my bad. That's fair. That's fair.
We'll go trade for a kicker.
Miss J says his leg is hella inaccurate. You know, they're going to tell you you're wrong because he only missed 2 kicks.
It's not the worst. That's all I could really say about him. It's not the best, not the worst. It's not kickalicious, for God's sake.
Listen, I know it's all apologetic, but again, this is what he's asking me, so I want to address it. That's what I'm saying. Because I rock with the first black man on the net, man. The dude cool as crap, like, you know what I mean? Like, cool. So I wanted to make sure I addressed his comment. But yeah, that's my view. Outside of that, people, it's a victory. It's 2 victories, and to me, this is a very good quality win in so many ways because not only did you never get a lead back up, you maintain aggression throughout the game. I'm still waiting on all those people who was talking about Dan Campbell and holding 4th downs, because the only time they complain is when it don't work. And a lot of times it wasn't working because of poor execution. It was not like that 2-point conversion play where it was dead in the water before it even got started. I don't even know what the hell that play was. The one that the Vikings called on us for the 2-point conversion, I'm like, what the hell is that?
They did what we would do, shoot ourselves in the foot.
I'm not gonna say that. No, I'm not gonna say that because they didn't do what we do. We scored 30 points. We don't. Them days is over. They did what we do. We're not doing that. What happened was the coach got out coached and put into a pressure situation and pressure bust pipes. And in our case, we made a diamond out of it. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough.
Let's go into the final thoughts, man, because I got another long, stupid day. I have to take 2 other kids to school, so yay.
You got a heart of gold, man. You got a heart of gold.
Man, listen, I'm all about my family, and so it's important to me. So yeah, Easy Does says it can be upgraded with a kicker that can bang 60 plus in the offseason, in my opinion.
Would love that.
I think it's very easy to upgrade. Just me. It looks like what? It looks like it's what is he? I don't know what he's trying to say here. And it somehow still go and sound like
dying.
Oh, okay. I totally didn't know what the hell that say. I was genuinely confused. Okay. And it somehow still go in. Sounds like how the Vikes got 10 wins. That's fair. Don't mean that it ain't. Don't mean just because you put makeup on a pig, it's still a pig. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, go ask Vikings fans how they feel about kickers and how many times a kicker screwed them in the past.
First of all, shout out to Adam. I don't know.
Hey, Adam.
I don't know when Adam's going to change his photo. I swear to God, it looks like he plays for a fucking
the Dolphins. He looks like he plays
like. But he says draft Malik Willis. No. No. Would I still want a fucking safety? Yes. I still would have took Kyle Hamilton. Yes, I sure would have, Adam. I don't doubt it. We're still giving up big plays, and it freaking sucks. But I get how everybody want to view it. But that kicker, I'm sorry, man. It just them kicks look pedestrian as hell, man. That's all I'm saying. Final thoughts, Crimson. Get the people your final thoughts before I get up out of here, man.
All right. My final thoughts are, how does everyone feel about shutting Jalen Reagor up? Because I feel really goddamn good, mister. Oh, I guarantee a victory. We're going to go in there and win. We're bringing hats and T-shirts that we're division champions. We're shutting them out. Yeah. How do you feel, Jalen? How'd you play in the game? What's that? You didn't get any catches. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Oh, what happened to that guaranteed win there, Jalen?
I didn't really care about him talking about what he talked about. I thought to myself, they can talk and put all the bulletin board material up that they want. None of that matters. The Lions need to understand, simply put, they control their destiny. They do. Nobody controls you. They are their own captain. Guide the ship to where you wanted to go. That's it. It's simply put. You don't got to do nothing but control your direction. And that's it. It's up to them. Win, lose, or draw, we'll be looking at them directly because the schedule looks really favorable right now. And I know I saw earlier there's no such thing as an easy schedule. Bullshit. Yes, there is.
Dude,
there is.
Do you think the Seahawks have a chance to make the wild card, or do you think they're out of gas?
I don't know. You know, I'm a Seahawks fan, and my issue with them is if you're telling me Kenneth Walker is not coming back, they in trouble.
Dude, I am so conflicted. The last game they have is going to tear me because it's going to be the Rams versus the Seahawks. If the Rams win, good for us. But if the Seahawks win, might knock us out the playoffs. Who knows?
I'm just saying. Anthony, what do you have for your final thoughts, sir?
I think my final thought is very simple today. Just enjoy the wins. 5 out of 6 is great. But, you know, this team is exactly where it needs to be. It is winning games. It's looking confident. And it is a case of, you know, for all the goals we want to set this season, we've reached them. I think this team, year 2, is just about accomplished. Whatever we do from this point onwards might be a bonus. If we can sneak a wild card, great. If not, but, you know, we've seen the coaching improve. We've seen the players improve. We've seen them winning games. That's all we needed to see this year. So this team is smack bang on track to go where it needs to go. And a big off season is coming up, but I trust Brad Holmes implicitly. I think he has done a tremendous job so far. And I think one more off season, this time next year, we're going to be a seriously good football team. So enjoy it. Enjoy the wins. Enjoy the ride. We're starting to get to the fun part now. The big slog at the start, the real crap stuff is over, and now we're going to start to get where the fun comes.
Listen. There's he said this isn't high school, Luke. Easy schedule. Listen, stay with me. Just stay with me. The Lions had 9 home games, right? And they had a really early bye in a way, or it's kind of a mid bye, I should say, right? Because I think it was like week 6 or something like that. So I can't remember off the top of my head, but you look at this schedule. Who was a real threat on their schedule? And it shows in a lot of ways. They dropped some games to some teams they shouldn't have dropped, and they beat some teams that they probably shouldn't have beat. In some cases, people may argue that, right? But to me, there's a such thing as an easy schedule because most of those times you can see how teams change up. At this point, you're talking about in December, headed into January, they get to play the Jets, who was on their second quarterback and have a host of issues. They get to play the Panthers, who is having some issues. They get to play the Bears, the team who's completely eliminated from the playoffs. And they get to play the Packers, a team who has fell off the face of this earth. I would say that's pretty easy.
I hate Lambeau.
That's all I'm saying. I would say that's pretty easy. So I'm just not trying to make it that complicated. But let's get to the final thought for me, people. This was a good win for the Lions. This is a good win for everyone involved, including the general manager, Brad Holmes. I know people think I just want to shit on him because I want to. No, I believe that the problem when he came in with the defense, and it still exists in my opinion. The defense is definitely playing better because they were so bad that even though they're playing better, they still are running dead last in a lot of areas. And that is evident in my opinion. However, I'm excited when we get wins, and winning heals everything. You know what I mean? It's just 100% the way it should be. He says it's a dumb take. Feel free to comment afterwards. But you know me, I can't end the show unless I do it on a positive note. And so off rip it's always going to end on a positive note. I think today's quote is going to come from the internet, and I'm not sure who said it, but it says you need to understand the cost before you do everything. You need to understand the cost before you do everything. Helping is costly. Relationships are costly. Friendships are costly. But the question is, what is the cost? What are you willing to pay for these relationships? What are you willing to pay for these moments? Some of us just want it easy when we probably need to go down the road of the most resistance. Some of us need to understand that the cost is often paid out when we're not prepared for the bill. You see, regret is a bill that many of us seem to hate. We don't like it when it shows up. It's never seems to come and give you enough time to pay it, but it always seems to come and remind you of what you did not do or could have done. But when I look at the cost of being a good friend, the cost of being a good father, the cost of being a husband, the cost of being a content creator, the cost of being a Lions fan, or just for being a human being, I need to understand the bill. You see, you pay into what you get. And what you get is what you pay into. And anything in between that does not account for the cost. The cost must be something you're willing to pay and pay it without hesitation. See, some of y'all don't have a problem giving a little bit of change to a stranger in a time of need. Some of y'all don't have a problem lending a shoulder or an ear to a person who's in a time of need. Some of y'all don't have an issue working for a certain amount of money as long as it can suit your minimum needs. That is your ability to be able to pay the cost. Know the cost of everything that you do, because if you don't, it could cost you more than you are prepared to pay for. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, and if you don't do nothing else, I'm trying to get that like Sopranos low. No, wait, that wasn't even Sopranos. What the hell am I thinking? That's Godfather. I'm talking to you. Don't be no chump, please. Please do your research. We are out, man. Have fun, man. Victory Monday. Let's go. Go Lions.